Let's do a quick, fast one on this character because there's not a lot there except that he was incredibly corrupt. Grover Aloysius Whalen. He was the son of an Irish immigrant. He lasted exactly 1 year as New York City Police Commissioner. He is down on records as the most inefficient police commissioner in the history of the department. The entire city, the entire world seemed to know that he took bribes and he made a fortune on bribes. In fairness to New York City, their police commissioners are usually pretty smart people, and they're pretty good at what they do. But this guy was the exception to the rule, and he was a thief. In 1929, Frank Costello was recorded on a wiretap telling Lucky Luciano that he had to advance Whalen $30,000 to cover his margin calls when the market collapsed on Black Friday, start of the Great Depression. $30,000 in 1929 was a boatload of money. Costello said to Luciano, "What could I do? We own the guy." So Whalen, if he hadn't taken money, he would have been an admirable guy. He came from humble surroundings. He ran his father's ash and garbage disposal business. He did marry well, in all fairness, but not gold money, just upper middle class well. He backed the campaign of John F. Hyland, who was mayor of New York in 1918. And when Hyland won, he appointed Whalen commissioner of plants and structures. Sounds like a silly name. It's been changed since, but it basically gave him control over New York City's massive and continually growing transportation system. He also served as, here's another name that doesn't make it quite the same, the commissioner of purchase. Think about how powerful that made him. He could buy for the city of New York, so he controls transportation and basically the pocketbook. In 1928, I got to say, though, in fairness, there's nothing in those two positions that he had where there seems to have been any corruption. He seems to have done the job the right way. He left, went into private business, made a small fortune. When Jimmy Walker was elected mayor of New York, he appointed in 1928, he appointed Whalen police commissioner. Jimmy Walker, if you ever get the chance, a really colorful, interesting guy. Not a good mayor, but he, he barely showed up for the job. But he was an interesting guy. He was a Tammany guy, and really, that's how Whalen got ahead. Tammany was an Irish-dominated, technically Democrat. They didn't give a crap about political philosophies. A Democrat machine that ran the city. And Whalen had a lot of friends in there, and that's why he kept, to some extent, kept getting ahead on these things. Anyway, as police commissioner, his philosophy was this. These are his words. There is plenty of law at the end of a nightstick. Not the best way to run one of the world's largest cities. So on International Unemployment Day demonstration on March 6, 1930 in New York, 35,000 or more demonstrators were walking down towards Broadway when 1,000 policemen with batons, horses, and fire trucks and so forth smashed into them. The outrage was just too much, and Whalen was forced to resign the post within 2 months of that incident. Just a minor point here, just to be fair. Yeah, the police went over the top on that one, but these weren't innocent, not all of these 35 that were innocent unemployment guys. There were some hardcore, well-trained communist agitators in there, and they came armed too. Just a point, just to get things straight. But anyway, that's the story of Mr. Whalen.